Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at the 10 things to know before playing Metroid Dread. After all these years, we're finally getting a brand new Metroid game. Sure, 2017's Samus Returns was a fantastic appetizer for the bounty hunter's reappearance, but this is the first brand new Metroid game we've had in years. So, whether you're a veteran or a newcomer, there are a few things you ought to know before jumping into Dread. Do you plan to get the game? What's got you excited for Samus's next mission? Share with us in the comments below.
The most powerful bounty hunter in the galaxy, Samus Aran.
The premise. Nothing much has changed with the usual formula for Metroid's narrative. Every game has seen Samus arriving on an unknown planet to investigate and fight terrifying foes. This time, our token mysterious rock is planet ZDR, where Samus must look into the disappearance of research robots known as the EMMI, or EMI. More on that in a bit. Shortly after her arrival, the ancient alien race known as the Chozo steal her weapons.
Ally or enemy? What secret truths hide within planet ZDR?
Get your tech back, survive the planet's savage inhabitants, and escape with your butt intact. Of the 2D Metroid games, this looks to be the most tense and frightening game in the line. A fused reunion. Some of you are probably wondering where exactly Dread falls in the Metroid timeline, and we can understand why, given how some of the sequels have actually been prequels. Dread is picking up sometime after the events of Fusion, which launched on the Game Boy Advance all the way back in 2002.
Warning, no entry without authorization. Warning.
However, Dread also serves as the thrilling conclusion to Samus' story under the 2D games. If there are any critical details you should know, it's that Samus had fought a race of copycat creatures known as X-Parasites, and she's gained immunity to their attacks. Will this keep her safer from the powerful foes though? Or will this immunity make her a bigger target?
If they capture Samus, she will meet her end.
Dread has been a long time coming. Given how much time has passed, it's not too surprising to see folks forget one glaring aspect in Dread's development. Dread has actually been in the works since the days of the Nintendo DS, where it would be developed and redeveloped twice for the handheld. Unfortunately, director Yoshio Sakamoto and his team weren't hitting the feel they strived for, and the DS's technical limitations made things more difficult. Despite having been in the eyes of the press throughout 2005, 2006, and even 2007, Dread abruptly went quiet as its placeholder dates passed. Eventually, folks began to believe the project had long been cancelled, and were so driven to find out what happened to it that Sakamoto would be asked about Dread during several E3 interviews years later. And now, here we are, with the game being resurrected for Switch, and it's all thanks to developer Mercury Steam and their phenomenal job on the Metroid 2 remake, Samus Returns.
We needed a bounty hunter. We got a legend.
Mercury Steam. Indeed, those who have heard or seen the Mercury Steam name most likely played the 2017 3DS game, Samus Returns. The studio not only managed to reinvigorate the public's interest in Samus, but they also showed that they could implement some cool ideas to breathe new life into the IP. The new parry mechanic allowed Samus Returns to make the core gameplay more action-oriented, and controlling our beloved bounty hunter felt tight and fluid. While the studio's history isn't as extensive as others, it has had a hand in some hidden gems, such as Clive Barker's Jericho, American McGee Presents Scrapland, and the Lords of Shadow series of Castlevania games. Assuming Dread does well, Mercury Steam could possibly join the ranks with Nintendo development teams Retro Studios, Next Level Games, Monolith Soft, and D-Cube, HAL Laboratory, and many, many more. Gameplay. Of course, you don't need to know how to play Metroid. If you clicked on this video, you probably played the original or even Super Metroid through Switch Online. Dread has the same core gameplay the franchise has long been known for. Shoot aliens, obtain powerful weapons and gadgets, and discover new areas to escape the hostile planet. Given who is developing the game, you can expect a few features to be adopted from Samus Returns, most notably that parry mechanic. Another new feature is that Samus will be able to slide underneath tight spaces instead of needing to go into Morph Ball mode. But will there be any shiny new toys to play with? We hope so.
Eventually, the whole planet will open up and be yours to explore at will.
New gadgets. Indeed, there will be new toys. Samus will come across a handful of new tech to endure the harsh creatures skulking around planet ZDR. A grappling tool will allow her to scale walls and ceilings, and she'll be able to obtain upgrades to her arsenal. Only one problem you'll face. You may not be able to rely on these ordinary gadgets alone. Some situations may require using more powerful devices, tools that consume an energy called Aeon. With this, you'll be able to use better tech that may let you cloak yourself and go invisible or even do a simple dash. These gadgets will especially come in handy when facing the Emmy.
Research robots called Emmy will track down Samus and attempt to capture her.
The Emmy. As mentioned earlier, the Emmy were a platoon of research robots who have gone rogue and become another hostile mob on ZDR. What makes them so horrifying is their seeming invulnerability to any and all attacks. Samus will not be able to deal with these guys head-on, and will have to figure out how to outrun and outsmart them instead. Yes, this is very similar to the SA-X enemies from Metroid Fusion, enemies that would skulk around the map as they hunt for Samus. Players will have to study their behavior and stay on their toes until they find a way to bring the Emmys down. Bringing back big baddies. Speaking of vicious foes, one must wonder if any of Samus's old adversaries are coming back. One baddie confirmed to return is Kraid. You know Kraid? Giant tubby alien that needs 6 GBA screens just to make a full appearance. This dude is just one of many sizable baddies Samus has encountered, but we have to wonder how many other familiar faces might be coming for us. Could our old nemesis Ridley make a return? Yeah, he sort of died in Fusion in his Neo form, but we all know the deal with Ridley. Damn Space Lizard never really dies. As for Mother Brain, we wouldn't be surprised if there is some Omega Mother Brain or even a counterpart like a Father Brain.
3, 2, 1.
Launch date. Metroid Dread releases on October 8th, 2021, and boy is this a heck of a launch day. Most of us are probably going to grab a copy without another thought, but there are other ways to commemorate the first original Metroid in ages. The new Switch model, the Switch OLED, is launching on October 8th and boasts a larger screen and bigger internal storage than the standard Switch model. Plus, you get the general benefits of OLED screens: no backlight while still retaining quality lighting and resolution, a lighter display, better contrast to make those colors and lights pop in your games, and therefore less heat generated from the console. Needless to say, Metroid Dread will serve as the perfect game to experience on your new OLED.
Players can use compatible amiibo figures with the Metroid Dread game. Acquire an additional energy tank by tapping the Samus amiibo.
What does this mean for Metroid Prime 4? One question on everyone's mind. What does Dread mean for Metroid Prime 4? Yes, the fourth Prime game has been in development for quite some time. To recap, Metroid Prime 4 was announced to be in development at Nintendo in 2017 before shifting the project to Retro Studios 2 years later. With Dread now launching, Nintendo is probably going to have us wait a little longer before showing Prime 4. As much as we'd love to see the game release in 2022, we have a hunch that Nintendo is wanting to launch Breath of the Wild 2 during that window. That being said, don't expect Prime 4 anytime soon, but 2023 might be a realistic expectation. For now though, enjoy Dread and let the folks at Retro Studios take their time. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.